So you want to look cool on a budget. Maybe it's to impress a gold digger at a local club down the street, or to gather the attention of 100 middle school boys at a car meet. We live in a superficial world where people associate what car you drive with status and wealth. It actually couldn't be a worse indicator, as I drive a cooler car than Warren Buffett and probably make less money a year than his cat does. But alas, here are some insane cars that'll make you look rich for cheap. First up is the DDR Grullon GT8. It's hard to say, but it's probably one of the coolest cars you've never heard of. Founded in 2008 in Miami, DDR Motorsports creates some of the sickest looking kit cars for a budget price. The GT8 is built on a C5 Corvette platform. You can also build one on an old MR2 platform. The cost of the kit is just $19,000, which is one hell of a bargain. Buy yourself a very worn MR2 for $10,000, add in the kit price of just 19 grand, and you've got yourself a McLaren F1 for $30,000. Well, I mean, not quite, but it does look really, really cool. This has to be one of the best looking kit cars ever made, and it has butterfly doors. Now this one's a lot more expensive than the last car, but an unbelievable bargain compared to what the original cars are going for. The Superformance GT40. The GT40 is one of the most iconic cars in automotive history, famously beating Ferrari at Le Mans in 1966 all the way through 1969. In fact, the 1966 car that got third place in the famous 1-2-3 finish just sold at auction for $12 million. Well, the good news is Superformance has your back. They actually create replica versions of GT40s, also Shelby Cobras, Daytona Coupes, and they actually have the real licensing from Ford and Shelby. So you're basically getting a modern recreation of the old car, and the driving experience is out of this world. I had the pleasure of driving a variety of different Superformance cars, and it's an unmatched experience behind the wheel. And used ones are going for as low as $80,000 if you do some serious digging. Once again, $80,000 is by no means a cheap car, but try finding a cooler looking car and a more fun driving experience for 80 grand. Here's another cool car that you've likely never seen before, the Xedro Notorious. It's built on a G37 chassis, and it'll cost you $55,000 all in for a base model. Expensive, but it looks a hell of a lot pricier than that. The crazy part is, if you upgrade to their $95,000 model, they'll include a 1250 horsepower 2JZ in the car. So now you've got supercar destroying performance for 95 grand and some pretty wild looks. I've never heard of a kit car company offering a built 2JZ. I think that is pretty darn cool. Now you've basically got yourself a Lykan Hypersport, except with actual impressive performance and a much cooler engine. Next up is the 2015 Mercedes S550. When I originally bought mine back in 2017, I paid a ridiculous $128,000. Fast forward to today, and if you do some digging, you can find them for as low as 40 grand, which makes me want to cry, but that is good news for you guys. Honestly, it was one of my favorite daily drivers of all time. It's extraordinarily comfortable, it looks classy and expensive. You look like a business professional, which I'm sure when I drove by looking like a 12-year-old was really confusing. But my favorite part about it is the interior. The ambient lighting is second to none. It creates such a cool vibe in the car at night. And the interior is Rolls-Royce and Bentley rivaling in terms of its luxurious amenities, design, and comfort. Newer Mercedes reliability has also been a lot better as well. So if you want a really cool, comfortable daily driver that'll make you look rich, look no further than the 2015 S550. Some of you have probably seen the Vader G35, made famous by the movie Suicide Squad. Basically looked like a Lykan Hypersport for $35,000. Well, the designer of that car has moved on to its latest project, and it's really damn cool. It's called the Vela Vet, and it looks like a full-fledged supercar. And the good news is it's actually based on a great car underneath. All you need is a donor C6 Corvette, and the kit is a very reasonable 18 grand on top of that. Find yourself a C6 for $20,000, $25,000, and all in under 50 grand, especially if you put a Pro Charger on it, you've got supercar performance and supercar rivaling looks for under 50K. Honestly, I really, really like this car. Manufacturing supercars isn't exactly what the Philippines is known for, but maybe things are changing with the Factor Aurelia. Made in the Philippines, it costs just $30,000 and looks kind of similar to an SSC Tuatara or similar priced multi-million-dollar hypercars. It was created by a 21-year-old engineer, Kevin Factor, his brother, and his friend, which is just mind-blowing and very cool to me. That is impressive in its own right. Now, the car is based for the base model on a turbocharged Honda Civic motor that makes 500 horsepower. It's really lightweight, and 500 horsepower is no slouch. But I know in today's world, we're used to 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, 4 million horsepower, but still 500 horsepower is really quick. Now, they are working on an LT5 Corvette motor derived one that's going to make over 750 horsepower. That'll be plenty. Lastly, we have the Factory 5 F9 concept. Factory 5 is an extremely well-known kit car manufacturer, and their latest creation is nothing short of remarkable. The project started all the way back in 2019 with the ambitious goal to create a good-looking, affordable supercar. In fact, in 2019, they even brought the car to SEMA with no body panels but a 750 horsepower V12 motor. Then they teamed up with the designer of the beautiful Saline S7 to create one heck of a cool body. Well, the car hasn't officially been released yet due to supply chain issues as well as COVID-19. They are actually producing this car. It's not smoke and mirrors. They've track tested it and they've dyno tested the car. Hopefully we see this new F9 on the road within the year with a base price around $50,000. There you guys have it, 7 cheap cars that'll make you look rich. If you enjoyed this video, let me know in the comment section below and I'll do another version of this under $20,000, as I realize 50 to 80K isn't exactly cheap, but it is compared to the looks and the performance of the cars you are getting. And I thought a bunch of these cars were cool because not a lot of people know about them, and you know what? That's what makes it unique. I think the coolest part about the cars I selected is that they're incredibly unique. Sure, you could spend 50K on a Porsche, but a lot of people, at least around here in LA, drive Porsches. What if you had something completely different and made bespokely for you? Alright guys, I hope you enjoyed today's video. Like always, please browse the channel and subscribe. I look forward to seeing you next video.